We are now in the directory where the Docker Composer configuration file resides. We are having here a YAML configuration files that defined a cluster with 3 nodes and a cluster with 2 nodes, which we use to start the cluster. Let's take a look in the cassandra _ cluster YAML file. And what we see here is that the composer is version 3 and we have 2 nodes defined. One of them is the seed node, which is stated here in the cassandra seeds environment variable, and it runs in the cluster Bitshawk cluster, which is also stated in the second node, and also the cassandra seed node is the first node here. Data center Bitshawk node 1, data center Bitshawk node 1. Besides, the second node is dependent on the seed node, the first node. Okay, and there are some exposed ports defined, which are standard usual, as well as the portainer, which is the dashboard browser application that will enable us to manage and maintain the running Docker images, Docker containers of the cluster. The portainer is exposed over port 10001. So let's start now the network DCB-THWK ring, which is our Cassandra cluster. So we call docker compose with -f parameter to specify the YAML file to start the configuration from, and the command up to up and run the cluster. It takes some time until the cluster is loaded and put to run. Okay, fine. Now let's access the portainer dashboard. Admin, password. So we get a dashboard running, we are logged in, and what we see is that we have one stack, 34 containers, from which 3 are running now. Let's go in. Okay. Two nodes. One of them is the seed node of the Cassandra cluster, and the second one is the second node. Let's click on it here, and we can see the logs file. We can inspect the container we can take a look at the statistics, memory usage, CPU usage, network usage, etc. Or just log into the console. We connect as root and we can see the structure within the Docker container, which is the first node, the seed node. You can see right here where we are. Fine, and now we can get the interpreter environment, start interpreter environment of CQL shell, and we are there. Now let's take a look what key spaces do we have until now. Select all. I think it was system schema key spaces. Select all, of course, from, and voila, it is working. So we have here a full control over the Cassandra first node through the CQL shell environment, and also through access to its folders, as well as control over the Docker container itself. We can start it, stop it, restart, kill, and other operations. And that's it. We have up and running Cassandra cluster as Docker container, as composed Docker containers. That's it.